deep in the heart of Texas.
We're in the business of winning.
Don't bet against me.
I don't bet anyway.
Lose your life.
All right. For the moment we all been waiting for, raise your hand if your team's in the ALCS.
Dude, you know this is the World Series, essentially.
Yeah,
Unless the
for
Braves
us.
get through. If the Braves get through, they're scary. But I don't care. If you have to face the Phillies or the D-backs, it's kind of like, you know, people are going to be like, yeah, you beat the D-backs, big deal. Like, you almost don't want to face such an easy team. But then you do because you want another World Series if you're the Astros. But
Yeah.
I think the Rangers are so hot right now. It is scary. I'll give them that. Seager is just on another planet. It's like I would walk that dude every time. Then you got Semien, you know, Garcia is just loaded. When Jung is hitting 8th in your lineup, it's kind of scary. It's like, fuck, man. Like, it's going to be a freaking, like, what was the Fox guys? They're like, whatever, an immovable object hits a whatever that saying is.
Unstoppable
like,
force meets an immovable object.
It's going to be a battle.
That actually is
And
a
I
good
know
way of
Scherzer's
putting it.
coming back. Scherzer is probably going to pitch maybe like 2-3 innings when he comes back. If y'all do make the World Series, it'll probably be back up to a game, but y'all won't. So, I mean, y'all definitely are ahead of schedule. I'll give y'all that.
Yeah, for
Way
sure.
ahead.
I think Scherzer's kind of the key. He pitched a simulated game yesterday, right? Something like that?
Yesterday, the day before. So, but still, if he started, I don't think he'd have, you know, a full, like, hey, I'm going to go out there and I might give you 8 innings. Like, he might give you 3, 4.
True.
So,
I could see that. And honestly, like, if he can give us 3, 4, like game 1 or game 2 or 3 or whenever he does come out, I mean, you would think that if he can do that, if we are able to, like, extend this series or maybe go to the World Series, he could be back in a couple weeks. So, and we got until Sunday. That's another 3 days to rest, which is a long pause, but yeah, man,
like
I don't know.
like it.
I obviously think on paper your guys' pitching is kind of the edge, but it's just a matter of if our bats can out hit your pitching. I think that's the difference. You guys have good bats too, but like you said, Rangers are just fucking crushing it right now. I think your bullpen and your pitching is going to have to win it, which is not impossible at all for y'all. But I think at the end of the day, yeah, it's that. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? Astros pitching, Rangers hitting. That's kind of what the matchup we're looking for.
I'm looking at if y'all had DeGrom, because I don't think you saw Evaldi being this good. I did. And then you have Nathan Evaldi, Max Scherzer, DeGrom. That's just like shit. That's like back when the Astros had like Garrett Cole, Verlander, or you know, just 3 studs. Like, what are you gonna do against that? It's not even fair.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, Evaldi though, I think like he's gonna give you a win. I think you'll also have a what's that pitcher's name? Another one on the. He's injured, but I don't think it's been too big of a deal. Gray, but I think it's just been y'all been mashing so much that it's like, hey, pitcher, just don't give up more than 4 or 5 runs. We'll be good.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully,
good.
Hopefully they're a different team than, for the Rangers' sake, than like the Dodgers, right? Like the Astros, we've seen they have mashers, but they've all been down in games, and you've seen them come back to where you constantly have this belief they're not out of games. Some teams, like the Dodgers, they get down and they just start getting in their heads like offense not working. They just lose. They lose like they've won 100 games 4 times out of the last like 5 seasons and get crushed in the first round. Like they don't respond to adversity. So I think like to the Rangers being ahead of schedule, it's like how many of those players? I think Seager was maybe on the Dodgers at one point. How many of them have like a ton of playoff experience to where they know like let's just trust in what we're doing, like let's just hit, which is what they did all year. But you know, you start thinking in the playoffs, so it's like an unknown factor. And I was reading this right here, that Bochy talking about Scherzer's 60-pitch simulated game, that he's feeling real encouraged, and that if he puts him on the roster, he'll be a starting pitcher, he said. So there's no, like, he's going to come in relief or whatever.
Right.
He's basically implying if he's on there, he's starting.
Yeah, John Gray, you were saying, Ren, he's on the 15-day IL. He went on October 10th. Or is that his release date? I guess he went on October 10th.
I think they just do it to see, or they say,
Yeah, 2 days
you're out
ago
for
he
a
was put on
series,
the
you can't come in the
IL.
series. So you're just on, you're injured, and if you're on the roster for the next round, then you're on it. You can't bring anybody or switch anybody in or out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a damn good series. I think the winner of this series wins it all. I don't. I mean, if you're gonna face the Phillies or the Diamondbacks, even though the Braves could come back, and then you really like. I've been telling Ian all year that I don't want to face the Braves. Like, I thought they were number one in hitting, but in different metrics, it's between them and the Rangers, depending on which way you look at it. Like, one could be winning an average, but Rangers could have runs per game. But offensive lineup, they're about as deep as anybody. And then they got Acuna at the top with 70 steals, and their pitching is probably the best pitching in the playoffs. So to me, it's like I'd rather just face the Rangers and then get time off in their place. I don't really want to play the D-backs. I feel like that's just weird. Like an easy win. Like, come on, like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, you beat the D." Nick, you're gonna be the first one. You guys beat the D-backs.
Like, you're just assuming that we beat the Rangers. But it does make it that is good because if it is just a y'all beat the D-backs, well, at least whoever wins this played each other already, so they got the trump card.
Yeah, it's like the Western Conference in the 2000s, right? Like the World Championships decided around earlier. Yeah, like I mean, obviously I'm stoked. It's just the Rangers bullpen just always fucking gives you a heart attack in the 6th or 7th inning. I mean, obviously, I think that will, like, if I had to put one thing on it that will end up being the deciding factor, it would be the Rangers bullpen, essentially. I think that's like a crux of what it is. And you guys have good bats, too. Like, you guys can hit, too. And so...
We just can't hit at home, which really, I honestly wish it was flipped. Like, when we're at home, it's just, I don't know what it is this year. And I think it is probably in their heads. As much experience as they have, MVP type players, like just batting title winners, and then they're just we actually have a losing record at home this year, which is crazy, right? We won 90 games with all those injuries and a losing record at home, which all those years we won, we killed it at home. I don't know what it is about that. Even our pitching stats are horrible at home. It's just what you expect with the Crawford boxes. I mean, short each way. So
yeah,
but,
that's what I was thinking.
I was telling them, I was like, really? The Rangers did the legwork for us. They got rid of the Rays. They got rid of the Orioles. Now we just spanked them. We get in. We're good. Back to where we were
in the playoffs. That's for sure.
To be the champs,
the top two non-Astros AL teams, I believe. The number one overall team in the AL was the Orioles, right?
And then the Rays.
Scrubs.
And then the Rays, huh?
Yeah,
absolute scrubs.
Yeah. Yeah, but they even showed, like, look at Baltimore. They went in there like basically like it was just too big for them, and not for the Rangers. They were hitting like they've been hitting like crazy. So I'm hoping this time off kind of kills that like hot streak, which everybody talks about. Like it's good for the rest, but it's also like you want to stay in like you don't want to get out of rhythm and all that. And so,
well, you guys won. When was y'all's last game? Was it last night or the night before?
Yesterday.
Last night.
Was last night. So, and the Rangers won the night before that. So, I mean, the rest is not too different for us. And, like, the fact that Scherzer, who is possibly our biggest X factor, if he could have pitched or not, gets a few more days rest. I mean, I think overall it's good for us. So, dude, that's crazy. Minute Maid holds 41,000 people, and Kyle Field holds 100,000. Isn't that?
Yeah, dude,
that's
baseball
just.
stadiums are small compared.
I know. That's what I mean. Like college stadiums are on another level, man. It's crazy.
Even NFL, like it's more geared towards like being fan friendly instead of just crushing in 115,000 people.
Yeah,
and
most NFL I think are like what 50, 60, 70, maybe 80 the most.
Yeah, like it's except for like whatever Jerry World probably has the biggest, right?
I don't know the NFL seating, but I guess you would think, but I don't know. They have a lot of like open area and walkways and stuff, so who knows? Maybe not.
Yeah,
I would assume
tickets at Minute Maid.
It seems like that college fans for college football are just more diehards. You can kind of bank on them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That is true.
At least for the bigger schools, right? You definitely can, and
Bigger,
you're
yeah.
gonna have
bigger student base
Alumni's
and
always
stuff.
showing up. You're getting a minimum of like so many freshmen a year or whatever that are just like new fans guaranteed.
Yeah, that's true. All right, anything else on the Rangers Astros? I mean, obviously, we can't wait for Sunday, but
Yeah.
yeah, man, I hope Scherzer comes back and maybe can pitch 5 or 6 innings, right? That'd be nice, but we'll see what happens with that. I think that's one of the biggest X factors probably in the series, obviously, but yeah, I think the Rangers bullpen is going to be the deciding factor, which I don't feel totally confident about. So
Yeah.
they've been so bad, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think the Rangers can definitely score with the best of them, and I think we're never really out of either. We're both just stacked lineups, so it's
Yeah,
gonna
we could.
come
Both
down.
of us could win from behind, which it probably makes for a good series at the end of the day.
For sure.